welcome to our maths workshop, and today I'm going to be talking to you a bit about reception maths and what it looks like in EYFS. So today I'm going to talk you through the EYFS maths curriculum, the sort of resources we use to show the children shape, space and measure, number activities and what we can do at home, and some possible useful websites that you can try. So we follow a curriculum called Development Matters. It's Development Matters, but it's also some parts of it is known as Birth to 5. So we're concentrating on the Development Matters part of it. And at the end of the year, they all work towards something called the Early Learning Goals. This is not where they should be working at this current moment in time, but this is the end goals for next summer. So there's two parts of it. The first part is number, and then number one is about number patterns. First of all, the children at the end in summer, we would like them to count beyond 20, recognise the pattern of counting, comparing quantities up to 10 in different contexts. That's saying whether one's more or less, telling the difference between the amounts, exploring and representing patterns within numbers of 10, even numbers, odd numbers, facts. It's really about learning all about that number. Not just being able to count to 1 or count to 10, but really understanding those numbers. So for example, 10, understanding that 5 and 5 make 10, understanding that it's an even number, understanding that if you add 8 and 2, it would make 10. If you take away 1 from 11, it will make 10. So just the wholeness of that number, being able to count out that number as an amount using objects around them. It's really about having the deeper understandings of numbers and how they're composed. And as a result of this, when they move on to older year groups, it will help them understand addition easier, multiplication easier as well. The big buzzword at the moment is subitizing. You might have heard your children say at home, and subitizing is recognising quantities without counting up to 5. So it's, for example, on the dice, just knowing what a number is. Why this is useful is it really helps the children see the pattern in the number that they're looking at, and it also helps them when they're building the number as well. But also, again, just all about that recall, understanding the number so much that they can just tell you all the facts about it, all the number bonds, and just knowing all the doubling facts and subtraction facts as well. There's lots of resource sources that we use at home, you could use at home or that we use at school. So there's maths resources all around us, and we really encourage the children when they're in the outside area to use the natural shapes to make patterns, to make different shapes, being able to name the shapes, being able to order, creating a pattern with them through printing, just things like our clock in the wall has numericon pieces so that they are matching the numeral to the amounts. Again, on the other side, I've put about measuring longest to shortest, and that's just simply doing it with sticks and leaves. Different number activities as well. Number blocks. We love number blocks at school, and we really recommend it at home as well. It really helps the young children understand the wholeness of the number, and there's some great ideas and songs in there, and it's something that we do use in class. Also, there's a website called Enrich, which I'll talk a bit more about later on, which has little activities that you can use and resources that you find at home. It's also a lot of where we use our small focus groups activities. There's also lots of literature as well. The book at the bottom is called I Spy Numbers, and so it just really helps the children understand the number as an amount. So they can see that the numeral is 3, but can they also see the 3, recognise it as 3 on the dice or 3 in the triangle? So there's 3 circles in the triangle, but can they also notice that that triangle is 3 in itself? It's got 3 sides. Number resources, some more number resources as well. This is a lot of what we use at home. So the one that has a circle at the top and 2 circles at the bottom, that is called a part whole model. And as we go on later in the year, we'll be using that more and more, where we put the whole number in the front top, and then we do 2 parts of the number. First of all, we start with resources like Numericon that you can see on the top right hand corner. looking at how we build the numbers, building the two parts to make the whole number, using cubes, but that could be anything, could be apples in the apples bowl. We also have something called a 10 frame, which you can see the 3 circles in, which really helps the children with their subitizing, and especially when they're trying to practice their adding. But also making patterns in the snow. You might see, you might recognise the sort of pattern that it becomes, because when they're older, this will help them when they're going to work on arrays and different techniques like that to learn multiplication. Board games. We really recommend board games. I have a very big Snakes and Ladders game in my classroom, and I know Mrs. Young and Miss Pepple have some board games in their classroom as well. And it's a really, really fun way to help the children learn without even realising that they are learning. So Monopoly, the rolling of the dice, is really helping their subitizing, being able to count their ways through the board. Snakes and Ladders, recognising, you could point to the numbers before, recognising which numbers will make them go up the ladder and which ones will make them fall down. Dice is brilliant. We do a lot of dice games where the children roll the dice and clap the amounts on the dice. And then the cards on the side is just like the old TV show. We play in class where I show them a deck of cards, and then I ask them if the number is higher or lower, higher or lower. It just helps with their ordering. Numbots, all your children should have logins for Numbots. If you don't, please let us know and we'll double check the login details. It's a really, really good tool. I know a lot of the children are really enjoying it at the moment. It's really fun. When they earn coins from each activity, and with those coins they get to build up their own robot. The useful website is NCTEM, so that is a lot about the number blocks, and it has lots of different PowerPoints and resources and just extra information for adults about how maths in early years is looking at the moment. The Enrich website is the website that I spoke about earlier, where there's lots of little activities that the children can do at home with like minimal resources. I put Pinterest on because Pinterest is great for ideas for practical ways to do maths at home. Numbots and Top Marks. Top Marks is a really fun game. It has like a gingerbread man. They had to put the buttons on the gingerbread man, and I know they really enjoy it in class. I really hope this is helpful. I have also added onto this tapestry observation a sheet of more information about maths mastery and maths in early years. If you have any questions, please let us know. Please let us know, and we'll try and answer your questions as best as possible. But I hope this has been useful, and thank you very much for listening.